Hey guys, I'm Lee from Lee Likes Music, the place to share, explore, and learn about rock music from Bandcamp. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at Benjamin Booker's newest album, which is called Witness. I'm just going to do a first impression review of this. I really haven't listened that much to it, but I just want to talk a little bit about it nonetheless. So that's coming up. So I've written a few notes of the first impression, the first time I listened to this album. I've written some hashtags, kind of. What comes to my mind, or what came to my mind during my first listen, was blues, gospel, folk, raspy, sore voice is also what I've written down here. Benjamin Booker has this very authentic voice, I feel, which is really important for a band who is focusing a lot more on, or an artist. He is basically a solo artist, but he has a band as well. And I feel like in any band where there is a vocalist, the voice is really what is closest to the soul of the people in the band, really. That is, I wouldn't say that the vocals are the most important factor, but I would say that it is sometimes the most characteristic thing about the music. That is the reason why some bands choose to just stay instrumental, because they want to have more of a balanced sound, you know. But Benjamin Booker has this really raspy, sore voice, and I feel like it fits perfectly together with the style that he is creating here.
Into the fire, I thought you upon me. You're with a quarrel, yet I am a lover. Try your best to just the same. I try to break it with no shame.
Jack White is another hashtag, another little thing that I put in here, because Benjamin Booker actually had a, I know that I'm wandering a bit back and forth here, but he actually did tour with Jack White, and this album kind of reminded me a bit of Blunderbuss by Jack White, which is actually a pretty good album as well, which goes within the same realms, you know. It's dwelling within rock, a bit of blues, a bit of gospel and folk. There's an alteration between all these different genres in both of these albums, both Blunderbuss and Witness. Innovation, orchestral, these are two other notes that I put down. It's very innovative in some ways. I feel like the orchestration here is really nicely put together. It flows and meanders back and forth. There's also I don't remember what track it is, but there's this, I think it is one of my favorite songs, actually. Truth is Heavy has these guitar layers, melodic finger playing of guitars, and there's two sections, two different melodies being played over each other, and it just fits so perfectly together. And I've never heard anything like that before, so I really enjoyed that. Off the Ground. That is a song that is really dynamic. Like in the middle of the song, it just completely goes mentally harsh.
Hardly working out.
So it's really calm and subtle and very relaxing in the start, and then in the middle it pounds you in the face with this garage rock sound with distorted guitars, and the whole song just completely changes and dives into a different realm of genres, which is incredible. The album is very short. It consists of songs that all makes up 32 minutes of playtime, and that is actually pretty nice. I don't know why, but I have a thing for short albums. All Was Well is another song that is featuring some really noisy guitars, and as I told you, innovation is another tag that I put down on my note paper here. And yeah, it's a very noisy album at times, especially this song All Was Well, and the previous song Off the Ground that I also mentioned. Very noisy songs that gives the album a bit more characteristics, a bit more, makes it stand out a bit more, I feel. And yeah, Mavis Staples. There was something here that there was once voice on Witness I thought I'd heard it somewhere before, and it was of course on the Gorillaz album. I was thinking, she really reminds me of the artist on Gorillaz that was featured on their last record, but I didn't know that it actually was Mavis Staples until I actually searched this album, Witness Up, and there she was, Mavis Staples. I don't know really that much about her. I know that she's like in her 70s and she's a very, very famous, I guess, rhythm and blues, jazz, maybe. I'm not gonna presume anything. I'm just gonna do my research, okay? Because I know that there are a lot of hardcore fans of her probably out there, and I'm not gonna say anything wrong about her. My favorite songs from this album after my first listen, after having a first impression, is Motivation. I love how Benjamin Booker is using this very whispery, wistful voice and singing style on this track. It fits perfectly, and it almost reminds me a little bit of a John Mayer track, because I don't know, John Mayer is within the same realms of genres, obviously, but yeah, I just love his raspy voice. That is really what stands out to me, and that was what got me into the record in the first place, and it really compelled me to listen more to this type of music. I never listened that much to this type of music in general either. Truth is Heavy is another track. That's the 5th track. That was another one that I found to be very noteworthy and standing out. I want to say, by mentioning these two favorites of mine, I want to say that there really isn't any bad track here. There isn't anything mediocre at all, which is I love that. I love to find that in albums. I wouldn't say that this album is standing out too much though. It's not like it's, whoa, I need to listen to this again. It's more like, I would like to put this on sometime in the future, and I would come to enjoy this again, for sure. But it's, yeah. What more do I want to say about this album? I did some research on him. I did some research and found some interviews, because I love to check out the personalities of the artists that I'm talking about. And I have to say that Benjamin Booker is a really chill guy. He's very down to earth. He has this rags to riches story, which he really didn't tell that much about, but that is a part of his history, sort of. He didn't start out with much, and then he worked himself up to become an artist, and he obviously loves music. And within a couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years after releasing his first album, his first self-titled album, which actually was a bit more heavy, it was more garage rock and blues inspired. It was leaning more towards those genres, while this album, Witness, is a bit more it's a bit lighter, it's a bit more alternative, because it has all of these different genres, many different inspirations. There's blues here, there's gospel, there's folk, garage rock, and yeah, just anything in between, and and I like that. But yeah, there's a difference there between what he did before and what he did after. I also want to say that a lot of critics tried to put him into this box of being a new bluesman. I was almost about to say it myself until I checked out this review that I talked about. He told the interviewer that he didn't like to be called a bluesman. He didn't like to he doesn't want to be confined as this guy who's leading or is a part of this blues movement, because he was like, a blues movement? Is that a thing? Is it really a blues movement? And the interviewer mentioned, yeah, you know, the Black Keys and stuff like that. And Booker was like, nah, I'm not a part of this. I just create my music, and I have blues elements. I have blues elements in my music, but it's not the only part of me. So he obviously wants to create something a bit more diverse, and that is definitely something that you can see on this new record, Witness. I'm sorry I didn't have any more in-depth review. I just wanted to kind of put it out there. I wanted to document what I'm listening to, and nowadays I'm having a tight schedule on what I can do. So there you go. Make sure to check out this album. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Benjamin Booker, Witness. Check it out. Also go and check out his previous album because that is also pretty solid. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like to share, explore, and learn about rock music from Bandcamp, then I highly suggest you click the red subscribe button below. Also, make sure to hit the bell icon beside the subscribe button, because in that way you'll always get notified when I upload new videos to this beautiful place. Again, thanks for watching. Hope to see you later. Stay tuned. Bye.
I just